Being in cold water had long been thought of as an undesirable, life-threatening experience. But that all changed once we learned how to call it a desirable, life-enhancing experience. My life has completely changed since I started cold plunging. It's the best thing you can do for your health, longevity, and most importantly, boosting your biohacking social status in the eyes of everyone around you. Start every day with cold plunging because it feels terrible. Then once I'm done doing the thing that feels terrible, I feel great, because I'm not doing it anymore. After I get out, I love the benefit I get from aggressively shivering for the next 45 minutes. My body thinks it's gonna die, but eventually my core temperature elevates enough that I'm probably not gonna die. And that feels very beneficial to me. Longer immersions are always better, in my opinion. After I learned that doing a maximum dose of 3 minutes is highly beneficial to your health, I thought, how much more benefit would I get if I did a lot more than the maximum beneficial dose? The answer is unknown, but I assume it's a lot. The science of cold water immersion is impressive. You get an immune system boost because it feels like you're gonna die. You get more energy from a release of norepinephrine, which I think is lion's DNA, which helps you kill animals better. And it burns fat because the cold causes reverse hydrothermogenesis thermia of your brown fat. I listen to Joe Rogan anytime he has Dr. Rhonda Patrick on. When it comes to cold plunging, I'm basically a very well-qualified Scientologist. Yeah, so the freezing cold water causes your body to release cold shell shock sheetrock proteins, shitrock proteins, and then your cold as shit shock proteins boost your hormonal vector to build muscle, burn fat, and kill stupidity. Yeah, at this point I can feel my cold sheetrock shell shock proteins elevating, and I can't feel my feet. I highly recommend doing Wim Hof breathing. It'll increase the amount of time you can stand the cold. I've never taken a class with Wim Hof. But one time I took a class with a guy who took a class from someone who had taken a class with Wim Hof directly. So there's a real good chance I'm doing at least 5% of it correctly. You basically want to sit on the ground and breathe in an obnoxious way for 6 minutes before getting in the water. I know all about the history of biohacking. It turns out cold water was invented by Ben Greenfield back in 2017. And superior humans have been getting into it ever since. And plunging was invented by plumbers in the mid-19th century during the 1600s. Therefore, superior humans have been cold plunging ever since. Yeah, approximately 11 minutes after you start cold plunging, you'll want to start teaching all your friends how to cold plunge. It's very complex. They need a lot of guidance. Okay, now the first thing you want to do is get in the water. So now what you want to do is stay in the water. Okay, so now what you want to do is think about the next time you're going to get in the water. You kind of want to treat cold plunging like it's a multi-level marketing company, so you want to get more people into your cold water downline. And that somehow gives you zero benefit, but makes you feel more justified about what you do. I get unreasonably happy anytime I can talk a friend into doing cold plunging with me. They get in and they're god-awful uncomfortable, which I love for some reason. Then they get out and I get in. And when I do, it's very important to me to show zero signs of discomfort so I can make them feel like less of a person, which makes me feel like more of a person. And that's just one of the benefits of cold water therapy. Woo! Woo! Yeah, when people make those victim sounds, it's a sign that their estrogen levels are too high. Oh yeah, I know how to swim. I just wear this sometimes so other people don't drown. It's science. One of the main benefits of doing cold plunging regularly is it increases your tolerance for being in cold water so that you can then stay in cold water longer. So it's like by doing the thing, it enables you to do more of the thing. It's like a hypothermic pyramid scheme. Yeah, it turns out people who cold plunge with their arms and shoulders above the water have no soul. The human body is meant to be 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit. Therefore, you should sit in 39-degree water for minutes on end. That allows you to maintain that body temperature at a lower body temperature. Cold plunging is a very important part of my recovery plan for a high-performance athletic lifestyle. My life doesn't involve high performance or athletics, but having a recovery plan in place for such things is very important to me. To get in the habit of cold plunging, it's all about mindset. And for that, there's 3 keys you need to think about. Number 1, become a hypochondriac and always imagine you have an insane level of inflammation in your body that you've got to deal with. Number 2, then understand that cold plunging every day will help reduce all the inflammation you pretend you have. And number 3, then cold plunge every day while believing you have less inflammation because of it. You want to be an alpha male? Well, consider this. Double-blind studies show that polar bears are the most dangerous land animals on Earth, and they never go in warm water, only cold water. Think about that. After I start my day with a cold plunge, I then begin my afternoon with a cold plunge. And finally, I like to end my evening with a cold plunge as well. Then work some cold plunges in between all that. All day, every day. It's been 10 minutes since my last cold plunge. Time to get back in. Plus, I'm able to feel my feet now, which I don't like. What can I say? Cold is my medicine. I want to thank the sponsor of today's video, the Cold Plunge, the easiest and most effective way to bring cold water therapy into your wellness program. This is the Cold Plunge unit I have in my home, and this is how I start every single morning of my days. Why do I get into this spectacular 39-degree water every day? Well, there's a few reasons. I'll tell you my absolute favorite reason in a second. But first, here's a few of the benefits I love. Energy. Immersing in cold water has proven to release norepinephrines, which boost your energy. Cold water immersion boosts your immune system, but also burning body fat. As your body releases cold shock proteins in release to the cold, you burn fat. But here's my favorite reason why I start every single day in this cold plunge unit. When you start your morning with cold plunging, you're starting your day doing something uncomfortable. You know it's gonna be uncomfortable, you know it's gonna be good for you, but because it's uncomfortable and you do it anyway, that gives you a big mental win. And it also trains your psyche to do things that are uncomfortable. And that's important to me because I believe all growth and expansion in our lives happens by getting uncomfortable, going outside of our comfort zone. The Cold Plunge is by far my favorite unit on the market. It's a self-contained cooling unit, and with minimal maintenance, you have clean, fresh water every single day to do your cold plunging. And you can set the water temperature to your own specifications all the way down to 39 degrees, which is what I keep mine.